Okay, so for disconnecting from the tow vehicle, it's about the same as connecting, except you do have one more step. Because of the way this tow hitch is designed, these are the weight distributing bars, as well as the sway control. So it provides friction as you're driving down the road, and still using the weight distributing also. So we got to get high enough to get the bars off for one thing, but then we got to go back down to disconnect this, to disconnect the hitch here, and then back up. If you tow, you'll figure it out. But if you have any questions, as always with anything, if you have any questions about any of these things, please give me a call, text me. I FaceTime. I believe I can do Google Duo if you have an Android device as well. So, but just, there we go. So we're just looking to see that those are loose. Pull the pins. Flip that up. Pull it out. Same thing over here. Pull it out. Then we go down. And I usually just go down, and I'm pulling this up as it's going down so I can tell when it's got enough tension off of it where I can pull it off. So you're also going to want to make sure that the camper's level. We have two leveling points here. We have a level right here, and then we have a level back here. So obviously for the level here, that's going to be up and down. You're going to control that with the jack up front. For the level up front here, in order to get this level, you either have to find level ground, or we do have a couple boards you can put under the tires when you're backing them in to get them level. It is important to get the trailer level, not only for comfort, the doors not swinging open, but in order for the refrigerator to operate optimally, it does have to be level. So that is one thing that you'll have to do if you are putting the trailer in yourself. Okay, so before you extend the slide outs, you need to put the jack stands down. So to do that, open the hatch here. You're gonna look for this tool. This is what's going to put the jack stands down, okay? There's one on each corner. And just crank that down. Oops. Just crank that down. Put the yellow stabilizer underneath it. And you want to crank it down, and it's gonna get some pressure on it. You're not using this to jack the trailer up, but just to stabilize it. So you do want to have some pressure on there, but not a ton. So that's good right about there. So do that in all four, and then you can open the slides. Okay, so now before you open the slides, you want to make sure that everything's out of the way. Sometimes during transit, some of these doors might open, something might get in the way. So you want to look on the sides, on this side, and especially back here on this one. And you just want to make sure that it's all clear. So like here, there was a door that opened. This cabinet door opened on transit. And if we had opened the slide out, it would have pulled that off or ripped that cabinet door off. So just make sure that's shut, and then we can go ahead and open the slides, and we'll move back there and I'll show you how to open the slides here. So this cabinet door right here, this is where the control center is. So to open the slides, this is for the big slide right here. So just hit out, and it's going to keep extending until it's all the way open. Sometimes it may stop a little bit, so you want to just hit it again and make sure that it's all the way open. Or in the reverse, when you're putting it away, you want to make sure that it's all the way closed. So we'll open this all the way up here. see it opens it up quite a bit. All right, so that slide is open. Okay, so repeat the same process for the rear slide in the back, and we can open it there, and you would open it just like that. Okay, so docking station is out here. This is where you're gonna hook up to your water. So for that, the brass key on the key ring will open that. Just flip this little tab down, that'll keep it open for you. And you can get the hoses. You do have to use the white hoses. We have them included in here. So while I'm doing that, your hoses go in here, and the electrical is in this bin. And I have 50 amp wiring and 30 amp wiring, and then I also have you know, if you only have 30 at your site and you want the bigger wire, you can use either one. I do have a converter or an adapter for that. So, but when we're hooking up the water, we're hooking up to this right here. For that, you do have to use the 90-degree angle, because this is kind of a pain in the butt if you don't, and it'll actually leak in. So we do have to use the 90-degree adapter. So just attach that. There we go. And then we attach our water line here. There we go. Obviously that goes to the spigot on the other end. And then depending on if you are in an area where it has hookups for water, if you are connecting to water right at your campsite, you're gonna flip this blue lever down here to where it says city. And that'll just run through the system. If you do need it filled with water, you're gonna flip this up to tank fill, and you're just gonna pump water in there, and that's gonna pump it into the fresh tank, and it's gonna keep filling until it's full. And when it's full, it'll come out of this tank vent here, and you'll see water starting to spurt out of there right here. So that is how to do the water. So for the electric hookup, I typically use the 30 amp hookup, unless we're somewhere where it's really, really hot. And I know that we're going to be using the refrigerator on the electric, the microwave, the air conditioner, and that air conditioner is just going to be going all the time. I may use the 50 amp, and that's if they have 50 amp hookups. But typically I use the 30 amp hookups. So what you have is you get this one here, and you just take the adapter, you walk over here, flip that up. You'll see here, there's a ball. And there's an area right up here where that'll just slip right in. So you just slip that in there, turn it, and you're good. And then hook up the other end to the electric. Make sure you flip the breaker on the electric box. A lot of times they don't have that on. They have it switched off. Okay, so inside we have some different controls here. If you don't want to use the air conditioner, you can just turn the fan on. We got a max fan up here. It's variable speed. You turn that on, open up the windows, and it actually pulls quite a bit of air through here, and it's really nice on I'm not gonna say a hot day. On a hot day, you're gonna need the air conditioning. So just like your thermostat at home, switch it to cool. You have the fan on auto, and you can control the thermostat right there. So each of the rooms have these vents up here. It'll pull the cool air through, it'll push the cold air through these vents. If you're spending most of the time in the living room area here, you can just flip these open if you want, and it'll push all the cold air out through these. If you want the cold air back into the bedrooms, which we usually do, what we do is we usually will keep this vent, this big one here, we'll keep that one shut, and maybe this one shut too, and that gives it enough power to push it out into the bedrooms. So that's the air conditioning. If we look over here to the refrigerator will run on electric or propane. So we just turn the fridge on here with the on switch. If it is on auto, it's automatically going to switch between electric and gas. So if you disconnect from electricity, it's automatically going to kick into gas mode, and it's going to use the propane to push that, or to drive that. If you're in a place and you're boondocking and you don't have any electricity there and you don't want to run the generator, you can just switch it to gas here and it'll automatically run on generator. The way you do know if the fridge is on is the light in there. You'll see the light will be on. If the light's not on, it's got no power and it's not on. So that is the fridge and the air conditioning. If we go into the bathroom here, important note before travel, you are going to want to put the shower head back down into the bath. We've gone through 2 or 3 shower heads because as we travel and we left it up there and we forgot, it broke and it came down here and cracked. So we've had to get a new one twice, I believe now. You do have toilet paper under here. You have to use so if you run out of toilet paper and you need to get more on your trip, you do have to use RV toilet paper. This can be found at any camp store. It can be found at almost every Walmart, Meijer, almost all places that like that will have it. Your regular grocery store may or may not have it depending on the area, but you do have to use the RV toilet paper. Toilets right here. We will get you some chemicals. It should be equipped with it. I'll have chemicals put in it before you go. If it's going to be a long weekend, I can show you where you may need to get more. But other than that, that's the bathroom.